A drone is a very awesome tool. And if you're a content creator or just a tourist and you're using a drone, it'll definitely up your game. And if you spent a ton of money on a drone, upwards of $1,000 or more, such as for a newer Mavic 3, then you want to make sure you spend a little bit more money just to make sure that the drone is going to be protected. So one of the things that I make sure I do have for all of my drones is going to be to have a nice protective case. And for the Mavic 3, probably the nicest case that I've seen so far is this one from Smatree. Now, I do have a Mavic 3, I also have a Air 2, and unfortunately I had a little bit of an accident with my Mavic 3, so I will show you this case and we'll compare it to the one I have with my Air 2, and I'll show you how everything works. So this case is going to be a nice big protective case, and it's going to come for the Mavic 3 by Smatree, and we also have these, I believe, for other drones as well, such as if you have an Air 2S, Air 2, a couple other drones we make them for as well. So what you basically see here is these cases are going to be something similar to like your Pelican cases. These are definitely designed to be waterproof, more or less crush proof, and they will protect your drone while you're transporting. Now, we're not going to make you fly better, but at least you're going to have the peace of mind that you are flying somewhere with your drone, that it is not going to get crushed during transportation. Now, one of the things that I definitely love about this case that you don't always see on other cases is going to be the latches. So as you can see, you have these red tabs on here, and what these serve as is protection. So unless you depress the lock, the latches won't be able to open. So what you have to do is depress it down and then lift up, and the latch will be able to open. Same thing on this side. Now, the latches themselves are very, very smooth and very easy to get on and easy to get off. So because you have a little bit more leverage, you're not going to have any issues trying to get them closed. Now, in comparison, this is actually my case that I use for the Air 2S. Number one, you don't have locking latches, and literally it's just getting in and out, and then it does take a little bit more effort to close them because these are one-piece latches as opposed to these articulating latches on here where pop on the top and then bam, just press down. You can do it with your thumbs, but they're going to be quite a bit more secure. So as you can see, you also have your blow-off valve, so this is going to relieve the pressure as pressure changes if you're traveling with the drone on airfare. Other features around this case, so you can see on the back here, you have these bars, and these are going to add more rigidity to prevent the case from crushing. You do have the Smatree logo right on here, and you can actually change it out as you want. Now, the handle on here, the bottom portion is nice and rubberized, so you're going to be able to get a very, very nice grip on it. And what's cool is that these cases, we do have little feet on here, so we'll be able to stack one on top of another if that is how you roll. So let's open it up and take a look at inside. So as you can see, this is a nice deep case. Very nice. You're going to have this mat, which is actually going to break down exactly how you can store things at what individual level. So on top you have this egg crate foaming, and they do have a little bit of a cutout here, so that is for your batteries. They're going to stick out a little bit more, so we're not going to protect it. I don't think it's really quite necessary, but it's not bad. Then you have this tray that lifts up, and then that's going to reveal another tray deeper in here, which is also removable if that is how you want to go. So for the bottom tray, and like I said, it will list it on here, that's really where you're going to keep the vast majority of your accessories. So your travel charger, extra propellers, extra cables, anything else that you're going to need for the drone there. And then on top, you do have this guy. And this is actually really quite interesting. Let's flip it this way. Because unlike a lot of the drones and the prefabbed cases that you're going to get, everything's already going to be cut out just like you have it for this bottom layer. However, for the top layer here, they have things pre-cut. However, the foam is actually still inside so that you can actually make this out for your shape. And one of the places where that's going to make a big difference is determining what type of a controller you have. So with the DJI drones, you can have either the standard controller that comes with them, such as this guy, or you can actually use the bigger intelligent controller, which is going to have the LCD screen. So some of the cases, so for example, let's use this guy. This is already cut out for your standard controller, and it is not going to work if you have the bigger controller. Here, we have cutouts for your standard controller. However, if you have a larger intelligent controller, then it'll also fit. You will just need to take out this larger portion here. The other thing that's what's actually going to be nice about it is, let's say, for example, if you get your drone, so you have one battery you can store in your drone, and then you have 4 other slots for where you can store your batteries. If you don't have 4 additional batteries, you can actually just keep the foam parts in there, so it's going to provide a little bit more protection, a little bit more rigidity, and then take things out as you need it. Same thing for this extra compartment. This is where you can store extra things, but if you would prefer to store them in a bottom tray, because you have equivalent type compartments here, you don't have to cut it out. So it's definitely the best of both worlds. It is going to take a little bit more effort because you do have to pull it out. However, I actually like this approach as opposed to not. Overall, it's a very nice padded drone case. It will provide absolutely all of the protection that you are going to need for your Mavic 3. And keep in mind, the Mavic 3 is quite an expensive drone, so you do want to make sure that it is going to be protected. Overall, very, very nice case. I will have, as soon as I get my drone back, I will have absolutely zero qualms or concerns about using this Smatree drone case. And I do wish, and I'll probably would want to pick one up to replace my Mavic Air 2 drone case as well. Like I said, once again, you can kind of basically see the big comparison and what you get with a nice, more expensive case. Here, everything was already cut out, whether or not I'm using all the compartments. And for the bottom, I basically just have the accessories down in there, and there are no additional specific spaces for them. Probably the only thing missing from here, which would be nice, is if you have like slots for extra memory cards, which you can store inside there. But once again, in any case, this is a very, very, very nice case for your Mavic 3 by Smatree.